Most people try to fix their focus with advice built to fail. They buy planners, set timers, and force themselves to be disciplined. But focus isn't a muscle you flex, it's a reaction to your environment. Constant distraction isn't a character flaw, it's a design problem. Video games run on the same underlying design. A game never asks you to be disciplined, yet millions of people sit in unbroken concentration for hours, ignoring their phone, food, and sleep. Games and peak human performance share the exact same structural architecture. Underneath the surface, both operate on 4 specific rules. If your work lacks them, distraction is guaranteed. Build them in, and focus becomes automatic. Pillar 1. The missing target. Most people lose before they even start because they confuse an area of effort with a destination. A game never tells you to make progress. It gives you an unambiguous binary objective: defeat the boss, survive the round, reach the checkpoint. Your daily work usually offers none of that clarity. Work on the business, study, write the script. These are not targets. They are vague descriptions of anxiety. When a task has no clear definition of done, the brain treats it as an infinite problem. Ambiguity creates constant micro-decisions. Friction appears, distraction enters. The target must be calibrated tightly enough to consume your full attention. Too complex and the brain escapes into anxiety. Too simple and it escapes into boredom. Distraction never arrives unclear. Your phone gives precise instructions. Open this, watch this, scroll next. Zero uncertainty. So never start with a broad category. Start with a visible finish line, not "I will work on my video." Instead, "I will write the first 300 words of the hook," not "I will study mathematics." Instead, "I will solve 8 problems and document every error." The target doesn't need to be large. It needs to be undeniable. Attention doesn't require a 5-year plan. It only needs a next move too clear to avoid. Pillar 2. The missing scoreboard. Direction is not enough. Without feedback, momentum dies. In a game, every action produces an immediate response. You move, and the world reacts. You land a hit, and the health bar drops. The continuous loop proves that your actions matter in real time. Meaningful work often does the exact opposite. You write for 2 hours, and the book still doesn't exist. You train for a week, and nothing visible changes. The progress is real, but it is silent. The brain constantly seeks signal. When the work stays quiet, the environment offers a louder option. Every scroll, every notification, every like is engineered feedback. You are competing against systems designed to outsignal you. If you don't build a scoreboard, the brain will find one elsewhere. Every session must end with a physical artifact, a finished draft, a solved problem set, a passing unit test, a page you can physically hand to someone. Stop measuring effort, measure output. And when you finish a session, leave the last step slightly incomplete. A sentence half written, a problem set up but unsolved. In cognitive psychology, this open loop keeps the circuit alive. When you return, you step back into active momentum instead of starting cold from zero. Focus requires visible progress. When progress becomes visible, momentum becomes automatic. Pillar 3. The missing cost. Feedback keeps you engaged when things are moving. Cost keeps you anchored when you want to leave. In a high-stakes game, a single mistake ends the run. You lose your progress, your rank, or your inventory. That instant penalty doesn't create panic. It creates absolute presence. What is the immediate penalty when you abandon today's deep work session? Usually nothing. No alarm sounds, no money leaves your account, no penalty occurs. The cost is simply transferred to a future version of yourself, the person who eventually realizes they spent a decade wanting a life they never built. Distant goals are fundamentally weak against immediate urges because the reward is far away and the cost of quitting is completely hidden. Pull the cost into the present moment. Tell someone exactly what you will deliver by a hard deadline. Put real capital on the line. Create an immediate consequence your current self can actually feel. The goal stops being, "I hope I finish this today." It becomes, "Quitting is now more expensive than continuing." Pillar 4. The open arena. Urgency is useless if the exits remain open. Every notification is an exit. Every open browser tab is an exit. Every device within reach is an exit. When you try to solve a hard problem inside an environment built with 20 open exits, you will eventually leave. Not because you lack discipline, but because quitting was designed to be effortless. High performers don't defeat temptation with willpower. They make temptation structurally irrelevant. A video game does not ask you to concentrate while 6 other games run on the edges of the screen. It is a closed arena. Build friction asymmetry. Make distraction brutally difficult and starting your work effortless. Put the phone in another room. Keep only the necessary tools available. One document, one task, one fixed time block. If checking a distraction requires standing up, walking to another room, and entering a password, most impulses die long before they become actions. Decide once, before the session begins, that for the next block of time the arena is closed. The real value of focused attention is not clearing an inbox. It is the rare ability to stay seated with a difficult, uncomfortable problem long after everyone else has looked for an exit. Most people quit mentally long before they quit physically. The moment a concept becomes uncomfortable, they open a new tab or switch to passive research. They confuse shallow movement with actual progress because sitting still with difficulty feels uncomfortable. Deep work is rare because most environments are engineered to make leaving easy. The person who removes the exits and stays in the problem longer gains an advantage that has nothing to do with talent or raw hours worked. You don't need to outwork the world. You only need to stay in the problem longer than everyone else can tolerate. You don't need more discipline. You need a target your brain can see, a scoreboard it can trust, a cost it can feel, and an arena with 0 exits. The focus was never missing. You were simply trying to build inside a system designed to pull you away from it.